Alrighty guys, I'm going to have to fix this video. Something happened to it, and a whole section of video was cut out when it was uploaded. So this is the second time I've uploaded the video, but I'm going to make some changes. I'm cutting out the scene where we destroy the battery pack. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's just talk about what we're doing here. So this is not a how to repair your iPhone video. Let me get that perfectly clear. The intention in this video was not to fix the iPad. It was to diagnose and determine what happened to it, which I've done. So, spoiler alert, this is what happened to it. I'm just going to tell you right now. The gentleman who owned the phone, my neighbor, he sent it to a local iPhone repair store, and they took a the phone had been dropped several times and the casing was damaged. Now if you've worked on iPads, you know what I'm talking about. If the corner is crushed or dented in any way, it sends the force diagonally through the screen and just shatters it. And when you go to put a new screen on, the corner, which is now dented inward, no longer will accept a screen properly. It'll no longer fit flat on the device. The solution is a couple of different things you can do. You can, if you don't want to replace the back or the casing, you can simply form the metal back into place, which is what I typically do when I fix iPads that have been dropped. I've made a tool that's basically like a flathead screwdriver that's been rounded off. Well, a little bit bigger than this one. It's been rounded off on the edges, and I can actually get it into the corner and lightly tap it until the metal is back to where it's supposed to be. It causes permanent damage to the anodized coating, but it does the job. Alternatively, if you don't want to do that, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I wouldn't know. But you can actually use a Dremel tool or a die grinder, and you can grind away at the metal to remove the raised lip. As long as the display fits flat and is in contact with something in that corner, because you want it to be supported, and that's okay. But when you grind away at the aluminum, you've got to remove the electronics. You've got to remove the battery, the board, if you can remove the battery, if you feel safe enough removing the battery. I say this because the battery isn't completely sealed. Metal can still get into it, and you don't want to run that risk. Well, no, it is actually completely sealed. The only thing that isn't sealed is the connector board that comes out of it. To avoid any risk of contamination, you don't want aluminum powder in the battery pack. You can seal off any seams with Kapton tape. That should take care of that. No guarantees. I don't fix iPhones because I choose not to. So I haven't really dealt with the iPhone product very much. I'm an Apple technician, have been for years, but I don't do much with the iPhones. I do iOS product repairs. I do iPad repairs, as I mentioned later in the video, and I show you all the tools I've got and all the a couple of things I've put together to do those. In fact, I just did one today. I replaced a screen cover, I replaced a dock connector, and I replaced a flex cable, an audio or volume up-down flex cable. I also drilled a tiny hole in the back of an audio jack to push out a broken audio plug that had been left in there. All in the same iPad. This thing was a disaster. So, I do those types of repairs. I do not do board level repairs, and I do not do iPhone repairs. And that is a choice I have made. But in this case, my neighbor comes to my house and says, dude, my phone is broken, I'm getting a new one, take it, do what you want with it. So I did. I offered it back to him, but he decided he didn't want to get it fixed. And so anyway, here's what happened. The screen was replaced, and they used a Dremel tool to grind away at the aluminum, and they put the thing back together. The problem is they didn't thoroughly, they did not disassemble the phone completely. They should have done that. They did not do that. So even a tiny amount of aluminum powder that winds up under the logic board can cause calamity. That's what happened. That's what happened to it. and it shorted out the main logic board. Don't know exactly what circuits were affected, but it wouldn't power up. And I wasn't planning on doing any board level repairs or anything to that level. I just determined what the problem was, and that it was going to cost a bunch of money to fix. And on a beat to hell 1.5 to 2 year old phone, not worth fixing at that point. I gave him his SIM card back. Life's good. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. So this douchebag, I'll just call him out on this. This is the guy. Look at him. Look at all smug. He made a fairly rude comment on my channel, and I get a lot of these. I mean, you can't go on YouTube without expecting, backlash from the community. I mean, if you do something that they disagree with, or they don't like you, or they don't like what you get trolls, you get all sorts of nasty things come in. But this one kind of struck me as like, I don't know, it just seemed extra harsh, especially since this guy, he does board level repairs. I mean, the guy is quite intelligent. He only has like a few hundred subscribers, but I can see potential there. He's got 277 subscribers. It's a start. But if you look at his channel, he's got all these videos on like removing the supervisor password from the IBM ThinkPad, or fixing the blinking blink error, 2 or 10 blink code error on the Panasonic Plasma TVs. Cheap Chinese, it must be Chinese, electronic 30-watt desoldering pump. I mean, he's doing some pretty cool stuff on his channel. But he's beating me up. But you got to start somewhere, right? Obviously, you didn't come out of the womb knowing how to solder, I assume. That's kind of a dick comment. Here's what he actually wrote. I think I put it up. Yeah, there it is. This is what he writes. You really should not be trying to fix those things if you have no idea what you're doing. That's kind of a dick thing to say. Especially since, we all have to start somewhere, right? And as long as I've been alive, I've been fixing things. Engines, cars, computers, printers, appliances. Nothing to the board level, though. I don't do board level repairs unless it's something obvious. Because when it gets to that point, it's like drawing straws, and no piece of consumer electronics is worth that today, unless you're getting paid to do it, or you can't afford to replace it. Fortunately, I have had neither happen. But that's kind of a dick thing to say. I have never taken an iPhone apart before because I've never had a reason to. You got to start somewhere, right? So I took this iPhone apart to find out, number one, what happened to it, but number two, how is it put together? I was kind of curious, and I don't want to watch a video on it. I want to do it. I want to get my hands dirty. Knowing full well that it was a sacrificial device, I did what I had to do. And if you don't like it, well, fuck you. Back to this video. I think I'm going to go ahead and fix this problem. I'm going to add this as the new intro. We're going to take out the battery smashing scene. Battery smashing scene. Oh, let's talk about that piece of crap. Alright, so here's what happened. At the end of the video, I had my neighbor come over and like, alright, let's put this phone out of its misery. And I smashed the battery, expecting it to blow. Because that's generally what happens when you smash a soft pack or soft cell lithium polymer battery. They just go boom. Well, kaboom. More like, yeah. That's what they do, and that is that's just what those batteries typically do. If the battery casing is breached and the chemicals begin mixing, there can be a very violent reaction. The battery expands. The couple of chemical things happen behind the scenes, and boom, you've got a blown up battery cell. I expected that to happen, but we got no show. There was no show for us. It was over. But yeah. So why I did that, and I know full well what the safety implications are. I know that's a dangerous thing to do. I'm well aware. I am trained to handle batteries in the proper way. In fact, Apple will make you discard batteries if they're even slightly dented, because it's not worth the liability when a consumer's laptop blows up in your lap. It's just dangerous. It's bad. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants smoke coming out of their computer. Anyway, so that's what I did, and I'm not going to put it up there because I don't want to give other people the idea that that is a safe thing to do. So that part is now nixed because I'm now running on what 13 minutes on this video. So I can also cut out this other section that I did where I talk about the aftermath of the phone and what happened, because we've already covered that. Gone. So we're now down to a 25-minute video, 33-minute video, 30, 25, 35, 38-minute video. So we're going to stop right now, and we're going to get this done. Alright, welcome back. It's been a little while since I made a video, I think. This is an iPhone 6 Plus that my neighbor brought over. Basically bitching and moaning that it doesn't work, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't turn on. And he's not lying, it's dead as a doornail. I tried charging it, obviously that did nothing. So we're going to take it apart and see what's going on. I've never actually worked on an iPhone 6 before. I don't really do iPhones. I fix iPads, I fix MacBooks, iMacs, and everything else, but I don't really do much with iPhones. I'm led to believe that you can open this sucker by just pulling out two tiny those are pentalobe screws. I'm not even sure if I have a screwdriver small enough for that. I do have pentalobe drivers, but nothing that small. Now let's see. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. No, I'm sorry, but I don't. I do not have I have Tri-Wing. These are, by the way, these are the official Apple Tri-Wing screwdrivers. These are the ones that you can buy from Apple directly if you're a service provider. That's where I got those. What else do I have? Freaking Apple and their goddamn screws. I mean, come on. Let's make everything non-serviceable. Yeah, I just got those tiny little Tri-Wing jobs. Yeah, they're not going to work. No, well, that sucks. Tell you what we'll do. Ha! Nice. I'm going to ruin this Phillips head in the name of science. I've got a dozen of these things. These are the ones you get. These screwdrivers you get with the iPad repair kits, or if you buy the replacement screens, they usually come with a packet of tools. And you're going to get a couple of these, some of these little nipple things. That's what I think they are anyway. They're for exotic dancing. You might get one or two. These are hex 1.2. And you're going to get, if you're lucky, if you get a really nice kit, they'll include a couple of these spatulas. These are great to have. But generally, this is what you get. I generally throw the tools away and use my own, because mine are a lot better than what you get from the kits. Mine are official Apple tools. So, what else do I have in here that's from Apple? Oh yeah, whenever you buy a replacement logic board directly from Apple, it includes one or two of these grease tubes. These are thermal grease compound. I have a bin full of these things. They send too much of it. I don't need all of that, you know. These guitar picks are also from the iPad repair kits that I buy. And what else? This is like my Apple toolbox. In fact, that's what it says right on it. Tools for Apple products. These are the best ones. In fact, they're actually called best. I buy these off eBay. And these are the best screwdrivers I've been able to find. Generally, this is like a number, I think it said number 8, a T8 screwdriver. And we got our screws out, and I'm supposed to be able to just pull this thing open. I haven't read any instructions online because, well, I do everything the Tim Taylor way. Until it breaks, I'm going to use a spatula to try to get that out. My coworker does, he does all the iPhone repairs for people outside of work. And he actually told me all you've got to do is take those screws out. And it looks like he was right. I may have to pop, if there's anything in the SD card slot, I've got to pop that out. But I need a the Apple Universal tool, which is a paper clip, and I don't have one down here. Not have a paper clip. I think I need to pull the SIM card slot out, or the micro SD card slot. Sorry. Small enough? No. Let me go get something small enough to do that job. Okay, we've got the official Apple card remover tool. I don't think there's anything in the slot, so I'm just going to pop the slot out. Oh, this is his SIM card. Now, if he wanted to, all he would have to do is buy another phone off eBay and pop this card in, and it'll work. Don't know why he didn't do that, but hey. Alright, I don't judge. So let's get this phone open, huh? Where's my spatula? I had a bunch of them. This one's as good as any other. Okay. Now this phone, I do not know I don't know what happened to it. I have no clue. He did not divulge. I think he got it wet. That's what I think. But we're going to find out. It's a 6 Plus, so it's a very nice phone in working condition. Wow. Well, there's going to be some liquid spill detectors in this phone, and we're going to check those out, just like any other Apple product. But I've got to disconnect the screen. And it looks like the screen connector, sorry if I'm not in frame here, underneath this little plate here. So let's undo that plate. Here's my good Phillips. There we go. Let me zoom in. Okay. Too far. There we go. Alright, so we're going to try to pull the this cover off. I believe this is where the cable connector is. If nothing else, this phone is worth its weight in gold in parts. I mean, holy crap. I mean, the screen's got to be worth $75 on the used market. Digitizer, screen assembly, those are quite expensive. Apple sells them for like $100 and a half installed. I'm not really sure exactly how much, but it's not too bad. But still, people like to fix their own stuff, you know. Alright. So, just there we go. Oh, there's 2 connectors, 3 connectors. Alright, got them all undone. Didn't damage any connectors. Sweet. First time ever doing that in an iPhone. Okay. That was a screw. Okay. What did he do to this phone? That is the million-dollar question. The phone has absolutely no signs of life of any kind. I've tried connecting it to my computer. It does nothing. My initial gut reaction was he got it wet. And I don't see any spill detectors. There should be one on the bottom of on the other side of the screen somewhere. The spill detectors are basically litmus paper, and it turns red when it gets wet. And I could pull up the service manual for this thing to find out exactly where they are, but that makes too much damn sense. The screen is not damaged, though. I mean, it's not cracked. But I should still hear some kind of audible sound, or the phone should at least be able to link to my computer. And it does none of those things. Usually, like on the MacBooks, they put the spill detectors on the cables, on the screen clamshells. And I'm looking and looking and looking, and I'm not seeing one. No one has tried disassembling this before. On the first one who's been in here, I can tell. But yeah, there's no sensor there. No detectors. And usually Apple stuffs them inside the audio jacks or near the audio jacks, wherever liquid could enter the device. And I'm not seeing one in there either. But this phone has definitely been through hell and back. The corner's damaged here. Sorry. Damaged right here. And yeah, it's just here too. It's been through a lot. That it has. Battery's not puffy. That's a good sign. There's a lot of dust and dirt in this phone, more than I would expect. Which is why I think, in all honesty, that it had been spilled or exposed to liquid or left in a pond or something. Because under normal use, there should not be this much dust in here. But then again, there is no gasketing of any kind around the display. So there's that. But no spill indicators of any kind that I can see. I'm looking inside the audio jack and I don't see a damn thing. I don't see any corrosion either. But I do have his SIM card. That I have. Does my phone have a SIM card? I have a Verizon. Yeah, I think actually all iPhones do. No, forget that. I don't want to scuzzy up my phone with his account. Well, very interesting. We're going to have to pull this sucker apart a little bit deeper and see what we find. Because I'm not seeing any indicator other than the absolutely insane amount of dust and dirt. Do you see that on camera? Does it really show up? Look at that. It is disgusting. Alright, well let's dig deeper. He told me I could have the phone whether I fixed it or not. But if I can find out what's wrong with it and I can find it, if I think it's fixable, I'm just going to give it back to him. I know that he wasn't happy about the whole thing. And it was weird, you know, I had guests over and he just barges up to the door. He just, it's really funny. He's like, "Here, take this." I'm like, "Take what? Your phone?" "Yeah." I'm like, "What'd you do?" "I broke it." Well, that's too bad. He was a little more, a little more animated than I'm making it sound. Definitely somebody who was very unhappy with the circumstances. I'll leave it at that. Anyway. Sorry for the camera work. Maybe I can bring it up a little bit. Zoom it back. No, I already did that. Maybe I can raise it. There we go. That's better. Just take out all these screws. Of course, these are sorted by length, and there's about 800 different lengths in here, but the odds of me fixing this phone are really low. You can see it now. Man, Apple really went all out putting in screws. Meanwhile, I've got my trusty little iPhone 5S, which serves me well. But I think this is too big. This is entirely too large for a phone. I mean, there's a point where the phone just ceases to be a phone. I think Apple has crossed that border. Of course, no, not Nokia. Samsung has one-upped Apple, of course. I'm not a phone guy. I'm not really into the technology. Yes, I'm just not into phones. Get the antenna wire out of the way. All right. It's not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a demonstration. I'm thinking of smashing the battery in a controlled situation and inviting my neighbor over to see the aftermath. Or the during math. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to fix this phone. I think he's already got a new one, actually, to replace this one. I think he did mention he got another phone already. Man, something happened to this thing. I mean, it is disgusting inside. I have never seen anything like it. What did he do? It's like it was in a fire or something. I think I'm disassembling this thing backwards. I just realized that now. Okay, so all that. Oh, oops, I missed a screw. Again, I fix iPads all the time, but iPads are easy once you get the process down, you know. Now this right here, this is the speaker. So the speaker is mounted inside a little mini resonator. That's what this is. That's all it is. Or like an acoustic shell. And it is gross with a capital G. The amount of stuff in there. Oh my god. This right here is the... I want to say this is the... like a ballast or something. I don't know what this is. I should pull up the service manual. But y'all know I'm never going to do that. It's just not going to happen. Now, if I'm lucky, all he did was unseat a few connectors, and that's what I'm hoping to prove. Oops. Main logic board. 100 screws hold that in. Yeah, I'm going to probably download the... because I can actually get the official service manual for this from Apple. Not the Joe Schmo version that's been ripped off and hacked and whatnot. So, I never did actually do my iOS device qualification exam. Can you tell? I never had a reason to, because I don't work on these devices. It's not my thing. No money in it. You know, there used to be money in iPhone repair, but unfortunately, it's just not a sustainable business model. Make them harder and harder to service. This is the battery connector here. And these are all firmly connected. Ooh! Thought I might have seen corrosion. If I see corrosion, that pretty much guarantees he spilled it. But I have seen hide nor hair of a single leak detector or liquid detector. Not one. Not one. This is the, no, what is this? Oh, 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 missed a screw. This is the antenna, one of the antennas. Check it out. Yeah, little antenna right there. Focus. Yeah, there's the antenna. Ah, here we go. Found one. So there's a liquid detector. It is solid white. No liquid spill there. Okay, we're still working on getting the logic board out. I may have to remove the camera assembly. There we go. No, maybe not. You know, I think the reason these phones are still relatively serviceable is because the phone industry has asked for that. Because they make money on service and warranty plans. And if Apple is the one phone that they can't service, then they're more likely not to sell the product or approve it in the first place. And phones get broken all the time. I mean, people can't just spend $300 every time they drop their phone. So, yeah. There's a hidden screw right there. Take that out. Here's the camera. Look. And is that what I think it is? No, it's not. I thought I saw an LSI. Liquid spill indicator. Now, it looks like these have to be removed. These are look like little tiny nuts. And I have a small flathead in here. Yeah, they're threaded into the body of the phone. To make my life a living hell. Well, we're almost there, guys. I gotta remove the LED light. And no, maybe not. Yeah, I do. Shit. I missed a screw. Screwed in the side like this. There we go. And that will take the LED assembly out. Well, at least that thingy. There we go. We're in, guys. Okay. Now I just need to disconnect the battery strip. There we go. That just disconnects the battery. This little plug right here, and now we're in. We're in, guys. We're in. And that's connected to another antenna. Man, Antenna Gate really got them to rethink their whole method here. No liquid spill indicators here. And then we're going to look the logic board over. I don't see one on the board either. I see a lot of black fill material. But that's not a problem or anything. This is the iPhone 6 logic board. This is probably what's bad. And to fix this, it can be fixed. Anything can be fixed. It would just be so cost prohibitive. I can't even think. I don't even think I'd recommend it. I mean, well, it is what it is. So, looking inside, looking for yet another liquid spill indicator. I only found one, just one. A lot of sand, a lot of sand. All right. Who wants to see what happens when you crush an iPhone 6 battery? It's not every day you get an opportunity to do that, you know. Not every day. Yeah, there's one. I saw one LSI up here somewhere. I gotta get the straight story on what he did, because as far as I can tell, I mean, other than extreme dirt, I don't see anything outwardly wrong. So the LSI is on the board here, and there should be one down here, you would think, but there isn't, and there's no sign of liquid. I don't see any signs of liquid damage at all.